always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Hello, good people. What's going on? This is Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Keith. It's good to be back. And man, the title of this podcast is Who Bit Beyonce and Drake's Jerry Curl? And you're asking yourself, what? Yeah, that's what's going on right now in entertainment. So this is also called Bitegate. So let's start off with Beyonce. I don't know. Maybe I might say that for a little bit later. Yeah, that's a real treat. So I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but trust me, trust and believe we will talk about Bitegate and Who Bit Beyonce and what's going on with that, because, we all want to know. We all want to know. So trust me when I tell you that we will get to that later on in the podcast. But I have some other great entertainment news to start you off, just to wet your whistle, to warm you up. So first and foremost, tennis Wimbledon champion, all around awesome athlete, Serena Williams is going to have a documentary about her. So it's really exciting. It's going to be premiering on HBO. And the documentary is called Being Serena. It's a 5-part documentary chronicling her, the moments in her life, when she got pregnant, getting married, and just, what it's like to be this amazing, internationally known, awesome tennis athlete. She's amazing. Fan of Serena and Venus. Love them both. I think they're amazing. And it's gonna be very enlightening to see her. This is like one of the first times that she gets up close and personal, with people about her life. This past Monday, HBO released a 45-second teaser trailer of the documentary showing snippets of, Serena as a mother to baby Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr. And she's the newlywed wife to Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. She married him in an all-star-studded wedding this past November. So, we're excited for people to get to know Serena, the champion, the tennis player, the mom, just, the all-around human being. She's very fascinating, a very disciplined person. She's been in the game for a long time, and she just always crushes it. So I'm looking forward to watching this documentary on HBO about her. So it should be really, really, really good. The documentary will air May 2nd at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on HBO. It's produced by HBO Sports and IMG Original Content Group. So yeah, we're looking forward to that 5-part documentary. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. So way to go, Serena. We're happy for you. We're excited for you in regards to the new chapter in your life. So we wish you all the best. And yeah, very, very cool. So other stuff in the news. So you already know. One of our new favorite rappers, Miss Cardi B, is on the move. She's doing her thing. She let people know. Also, I guess a lot of stuff happened this past Monday. She let them know that her new album will be coming out very soon. So it's the album's called Invasion of Privacy, and it'll be out on April 6th. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear it. So, love Bodak Yellow. That's my jam. So, yeah, we're looking forward to, I've been waiting for a Cardi B record, so a full-length record. So I can't wait to see what else she has to talk about. And right now her other single is Cartier Bartier. So she's turning up the charts with that. And yes, folks, Cardi B is the fiance to Migos of Offset. And there's a reason why I mentioned that. I'll talk to you about that later on in the episode, so or the podcast. Yeah, so there's a connection between that and we'll talk about why I referenced Migos. But yeah, so her new album's coming out soon, very soon. Looks like next week. So happy about that. Very happy. If you go to Cardi B's Instagram page, which is I Am Cardi B, you can see the cover art for her new album. It's funny. It's interesting. Reminds me a little bit of Max Headroom, actually. That's an old school reference. You look that one up, folks. And she's got like 1,731,808 likes for this record cover. So, hey, more props to Cardi. So, and when she comes to town, I will be trying to check her out. So, like to see her live. That should be fun. I know she's opening up for Bruno Mars. So that's got to be a really, really good gig. And probably that tour is probably sold out by now. Would not be surprised at all. Once again, that album is called Invasion of Privacy. Comes out on April 6th. So look for Cardi B's new record. So that should be a lot of fun and very entertaining and interesting to watch. So Steven Spielberg, iconic, legendary filmmaker, director. I mean, where do we start? Jurassic Park. I mean, E.T., Jaws. I mean, this man he's the man when it comes to, when you think about what it takes to make a big blockbuster film and have it be an amazing journey for an audience to experience. He's definitely one of those directors that you talk about, because he can show and prove, and he has. I mean, I guess my only complaint is that there's never been a sequel to E.T. That was just a great movie. I'd love to see what happened to him. Who knows? But the reason why I mentioned Steven Spielberg is because, well, Mr. Spielberg says that he believes that Netflix movies should not merit Oscars. They should only get Emmys since it's streaming on television. So he believes that, Netflix is a threat to the movie business in that regard. So any films produced by streaming, don't deserve an Academy Award. Well, I'm sure a lot of people would beg to differ. So, I mean, what we've learned in 2018, that with today's modern technology, there's all new kinds of ways of watching movies and television shows, from your tablet to your cell phone, to your regular laptop or your desktop. I think that's great. I think, any way where you can have more access to your entertainment, your movies, or even music videos. I mean, just anything that's entertainment, that's good. That's a good thing. So, and once again, people are paying for this. So, the Oscars, this past Oscars, Mudbound was a Netflix original made movie, and it was nominated for a few awards. Mary J. Blige, who's a co-star in Mudbound, was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I believe. And so, it's just kind of interesting how Mr. Spielberg, who's a legend, who's been in the game for over 30 years, just made that statement. I mean, yeah, Emmys are important, but Emmys are for, regular television shows. Streaming channels like Netflix and Amazon, they do make films that are specially made. It's not for, it's not regular TV. You have to pay for that service, like when you pay to go to the movie theaters. So it'll be interesting to see what type of feedback Mr. Spielberg gets about that comment that he made in regards to, Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu not being able to, shouldn't be allowed to receive, the Academy Award or the Oscar Award for Best Film, and that they should only be relegated to Emmys. But they're not. What they do is not the same as necessarily the Emmy TV criteria. Emmys go out to TV shows that are TV shows, like series, the comedies and stuff. So in regards to that, sure. In regards to House of Cards, or in regards to Goliath on Amazon Prime, House of Cards on Netflix, sure. Those, do qualify for Emmys. Those don't qualify for Academy Awards. So Mudbound was a movie made for Netflix. So, so that's a different type of story. And that's not the only movie, but yeah, streaming is the way to go. It's a whole new avenue. So it'll be interesting to see what type of feedback that Mr. Spielberg receives in that regard from his critics. So, yeah. And we'll be right back after this message.
The GSMC Sex Podcast is a show that examines all aspects of sexuality, from physical to emotional to spiritual. Join our hosts as they discuss age-old questions, common misconceptions, and the latest topics surrounding sex. They'll tackle topics about sexuality from the complicated to the hilarious and everything in between. GSMC Sex Podcast is your show for all of your questions about sex, even some you might not have thought of yet. Download the GSMC Sex Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you can find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
So Kim Kardashian West posted a new photo on Instagram, yesterday. But people say that there's a epic fail for this picture. They say it's like a Photoshop fail. So it is really interesting because when you look at the picture on Instagram, I see why they thought that. I mean, basically, there's a picture of Kim. She's supporting the March for Our Lives movement. And she says, let's march. And she writes in her Instagram photo. And there's a picture of her wearing this orange jacket. And she has a gray sports bra on and black spandex shorts. And she's walking. And with her open-toe sandals, and behind her in the picture, there's this vehicle, and it does look kind of, it looks, it's a car, and it looks thin and triangular, like it's been squashed from both sides. And then the road that she's on, or the concrete that she's walking through, it seems like it's kind of bending. So the picture looks a little warped behind her. So I get why people say that. But of course, Kim had to let you know what was going on. So she responded to, accusations that it was a Photoshop fail, that she was Photoshopping the picture because, as a model, that's something that you're not really supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be Photoshopping, any of your pictures that are used for the magazines. I mean, although we know that there's all types of editing done when people are putting out magazine layouts or photo layouts of models. I mean, so we know that, but with Instagram, they're like, what's she doing? What is she trying to hide? I mean, people might be implying that, but so when she, got that feedback from people, she explained what happened. And what she said was that she reposted a portion of her picture from one of her fans who originally posted it. When the fan posted the picture, the fan added a mirror effect to the full photo. So she reposted that same picture and she shows you the mirror effect and shows you that's why it looks that way, why it's kind of squeezed and tied in and smushed because of that mirror effect, which makes perfect sense. So, I understand, Miss Kardashian West. I hear you. I get it. I understand. Not mad at you at all. So what she did after she kept it moving, she posted a new Instagram pic. And it's all the buzz, and it's just like Photoshop fail. What? So she's showing off her curves. And and mind you, she's 37 years old, and she looks like she's 20, 21. She looks great. So she put up some new pics, and one, it's a black and white shot. This mother of three she has her hair wrapped up. She's in the bathroom. Her hair's wrapped up in a towel, and she's putting on makeup while wearing a black sports bra and matching thong bottoms. The photo's taken from behind as Kim faces the mirror. And the Instagram, comment that she listed says, or statement, getting ready this morning with my new lips from the KKW X Mario. I guess that's Kim promoting her beauty line. So, hey, she's letting this train keeps on going. It keeps on moving. So, so she's a professional, and hey, this is what I do for a living. Amongst many other things, So I guess I'd say be careful what you accuse of being Photoshopped. So in other entertainment news, Corey Feldman was just recently stabbed. So, and he talks about that. I mean, it's crazy. And yes, folks, Corey Feldman is a childhood movie and TV star. He's famous for being in Friday the 13th. I believe it was the final chapter. I believe he was in, but he was in one of the Friday the 13th movies. And he's also an original cast member from the Lost Boys movies as well. He's been around for a while, and he's also a musician. So Corey Feldman he's still hanging in there. One of the few child stars who survived going through a lot. So Corey states that he was driving home from dinner with the security guard Tuesday night when he had noticed a car on the freeway that was driving very erratically. He says the car even caused a crash. He says that Corey, when he saw that, he got off the freeway and he noticed there was a car following him. And he said the car looked familiar, like it was, the erratic driver that was on the freeway. So he also states that his security guard, I guess when he saw that car, he had words with the guy. And then when Corey was at a red light, that one of the passengers from that car got out and made their move. Corey says that the guy pulled his door open and then jabbed him one time, either with a knife or a syringe. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's crazy. I mean, that usually doesn't happen to people on their way home from, eating out for dinner. That's insane. But I'm also asking myself, okay, well, Corey, why wasn't your car door locked? Because when I drive, I keep my doors locked all the time, period. So no one's getting into my car unless I unlock it. So that was just kind of bizarre to me. I believe that he was stabbed. He even went to the hospital to report what happened to him, and he states that he doesn't know why this happened. He doesn't know if it's because that he's been recently speaking out about pedophilia in Hollywood or if it was just a mere road rage. He's not quite sure why this person attacked him. And from what it looks like, it doesn't seem like this person has been caught yet. So, an investigation is definitely underway in that regard. But Corey, we pray and hope that you are okay. So, you are a talented guy. Look forward to seeing you do some new movies real soon. So, yeah, but that's Corey Feldman. That Tuesday that happened to him. So, just take care of yourself. That's crazy. It's just wow. Don't even know what to say about that. And in other entertainment news, so we talked earlier about Cardi B being engaged to Offset from Migos. Well, Migos has a new single out with a new music video, and the video is called Walk It, Talk It, and it features Drake in it. Drake's on the song, so of course he's in the video. And yeah, Drake. So basically the theme of the video is Soul Train. It's like a tribute and a throwback to Soul Train. For those of you who don't know, Soul Train was this amazing, soul R&B dance show. And it did more than just that. Soul Train was like the competition for Dick Clark's American Bandstand. You had Don Cornelius with Soul Train and you had Dick Clark with American Bandstand. I watched them both. I love music. So that's what that's about. And you never know who was going to be on there, performing. But, the Soul Train line is legendary. So Migos recreates, Soul Train for their music video. And when it's Drake's turn to do his verse, he's got the 70s hookup on and he's rocking a Jerry curl wig and he's doing his dance moves. And then you see him singing on stage. And it's hilarious. It's great. It's just, got to shout out to Drake. Drake doesn't take himself seriously. He likes to have fun, has a great sense of humor. It was just cool watching that in the video. He almost stole the show from Migos in that video, but yeah, they're all having a good time with the Soul Train, theme and the dance. Jamie Foxx is he's playing like the Don Cornelius type of role, the commentator. So everyone's having a good time dancing. And I actually miss dance TV shows. I think we need to bring them back on the national scene. It's cool to see people just dance and find out what the new dance is that was on the street. You don't really have that anymore. So we need to bring that back. We need to get people dancing on TV again. Heck, I even miss Dance Fever, but that's a whole nother story. So, but yeah, that's Drake, Jerry Curl. That's what it's about. Yeah, you got to watch that video. Once again, it's called Walk It, Talk It. So, yeah, it's real funny. You know, he went from Degrassi to hip hop to this. He's just doing it. Yeah. So we'll be back after this message and we'll talk about who bit Beyonce, Bitegate.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey, welcome back. This is Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, and I'm your host, Keith. And who bit Beyonce? That's the question on everyone's mind. And this has invaded social media. Everyone wants to know. So, how it went down. Basically, actor/comedian Tiffany Haddish states that she once witnessed another actor biting Beyonce. So basically, Tiffany met Beyonce at a party in Los Angeles in December last year. The party was also attended by, Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z. So according to Tiffany, she refused to name the person who bit Beyonce. But this person was doing the mostest, quote unquote, before biting Beyonce in the face. So, but now another story, an earlier version of this whole thing was that, Tiffany was at the party. Beyonce was there. Tiffany was talking to Jay-Z, and this person was flirting with Jay-Z, kind of hard and heavy. So, and Beyonce intervened. So allegedly, when Tiffany spoke to Beyonce about it later, she said, did she really bite you? And according to what Tiffany had said, Beyonce was like, yeah, I was like, she's going to get her butt beat tonight. And Beyonce told Tiffany, no, don't do that. The lady is on drugs. That's not the word that was used allegedly, but I'm going to say lady was on drugs. She's not even drunk. The lady on drugs. So, and she's not like this usually. So let's just chill. Wow. Just when you thought things couldn't get more weird in Hollywood or LA, they do. So, everyone's like, well, who bit Beyonce? You heard of people going to parties and drinking and maybe getting a little too crazy and having a fight, but biting someone in the face, because you want their husband. Is that what this was? Is that where this was headed? I mean, that's what it sounds like. So it just, yeah. I mean, I'm at a loss of words. But this story has taken on a life of its own. They're calling it Bitegate because it's like this big mystery now. What happened? Who bit Beyonce? So, and there's all kinds of crazy memes about that. So when they asked for a comment from Beyonce's representative, they apparently told GQ magazine that I absolutely cannot comment on any of this as I have no knowledge. The representative, don't know the representative's name, but that's the official quoted statement that was released. So, there's one meme by, looks like a guy named Saeed. And it says, this is not a case for the police. and it's got a guy in an orange jail jumpsuit looking to the left of this prison wall, and it has Solange's name up top in white letters. And then there's another meme on Twitter from the Borrow Boy. It says Becky with the good veneers, and it's got a face shot of Nicki Minaj. So another tweet is from the First Lady of Music, and it's got a woman with a bullhorn, and it says, "If you have a name and you aren't spilling, you are harboring a fugitive. Hashtag Who Bit Beyonce." I mean, it's just, then a whole bunch of people from the party get listed. So Sanaa Lathan was listed, you know, and Sarah Foster was at this party too. So it's just funny to see all these suspects. So Sanaa Lathan went on Twitter in regards to, you know, being accused of biting Beyonce. And she said, "Y'all are funny. Under no circumstances did I bite Beyonce. And if I did, it would have been a love bite." And then Chrissy Teigen, you know, John Legend's wife, she also weighed in on the whole Who Bit Beyonce. And she stated in her tweet, "I can only think of one person who would do this, but I cannot say. But she is the blank is the worst." So it's funny. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV fame, she chimed in. She posted a picture of herself with fangs, and it states, "All right, I admit it. It was me. Hashtag the biter," she wrote in the caption. And then the next picture is her as a full-fledged vampire in the vampire face. So, you know, it's nice to see the people having some fun with it. You know, it's just, yeah, it's just crazy stuff. You know, people think, how do you go from Sanaa Lathan to Sarah Michelle Gellar being the one who did this? It's just crazy. Well, Sarah was having fun though. Then they also stated that it could have been Taraji P. Henson from Empire. You know, there is a list of people, of suspects. So Rihanna, James Franco, French Montana, Queen Latifah, G-Eazy, Diddy, Sarah Foster, Jen Meyer. These are all people who could have bit Beyonce. So I look forward to seeing what happens this weekend if we find out who the culprit was, who did this. I mean, this is up there, I guess, with like Who Shot JR. There, that's an 80s throwback. So from the famous nighttime soap opera Dallas, that was a huge deal. So this is kind of akin to that. You know, I never thought that we'd be asking this question, but we are. So, but what we do know is Beyonce seems to be in great health and she's fine. So that's great. But now I want to know who did this. I mean, all from one party. I mean, this is kind of fascinating. I mean, who gets that messed up where they're doing that? So please let us know. So, but I'm sure Beyonce's Bayhive will get to the bottom of this. They will definitely get to the bottom of this. And, yeah, Lena Dunham, you know, everyone thought it might have been her. And she's like, "No, it's not me." So she's like, "I didn't do it." So she says, as the patron saint of she would do that, you know, it's not me. So it's going to be interesting to see how that story unfolds, people. But yeah, I had to say that for you, Bitegate. I think I may have seen it all. I say that now, but I'm sure next week there'll be something just as crazy and outlandish for me to report on. So, you know, we'll see what happens next. We definitely will. But once again, I want to say thank you for listening. This is Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment News Podcast. I'm your host, Keith. And it's good to be back on the scene. Thank you, all you people out there on Earth listening, and to the universe. And I'll see you next week, and I'll see you somewhere out in space.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast. part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.